The 40-hour workweek is insane. Regardless of industry, everyone has to work a 40-hour week? Is the point just to waste everyone's time? Surely not every job has the same dynamics of productivity. Just venting at how weird it seems. I know for some people only 40 hours is a dream. I just think it's weird that there's this unspoken, universally accepted yet completely arbitrary number. Sorry, this is sort of a low-quality post. Of course it is. I mean, how common is it for bosses to just tell you to look busy if there's nothing to do, or if you get all your work done you just get more. So there's literally no incentive to work harder or faster. I imagine for most people 40 hours a week means too many hours away from friends and family. But not enough hours to reflect a fair pay. Insane is right. It's worse if you're in trucking. If you aren't enthusiastic about working 70 hours, they'll fire you. Just remember, striking workers died to get you a 40 hours work week. I read something saying that they keep the 40-hour week so that you don't have spare time and will pay for convenience. It's to keep you so busy you don't have time or energy to fight the status quo. And even more insane is how the 40 hours workweek exists in over 100 years probably, and there's no evolution to diminish these hours. More automation, more machines should cut these hours. But the opposite occurs. The market doesn't understand that it's good to maintain the workers with more time to leisure, since it means we will spend more money and keep the economy flowing. We let sociopaths run society. I'm surprised we aren't back in literal chains as opposed to these modern ones. I work 20 hours a week. I cut my cloth accordingly. It means I have lots of leisure time which I use to walk my dog, grow veggies, read books. It means that I also don't have extra income for expensive things. I just cover my costs. We cook from scratch, bake our own bread. We don't buy new if we can help it, fix and mend. Not everyone wants to live like this, but I am really happy. It's not an arbitrary number. It comes from the labor movement at the turn of the 20th century. The idea was 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, and 8 hours of personal time. We all know now that it isn't 8 hours of personal time with commute and cooking and general life admin. 40 hours for many people is outdated and needs to be revisited. Well, strictly speaking, it's the maximum one is supposed to work. It is not what one must work. In theory, beyond 40 hours, one must pay overtime, except for exempt employees. Historically, getting the maximum down to 40 was a great achievement, as maximum work hours per week in the early 20th century could be 72 hours. And that's if the law set a maximum. Don't forget that the US was built on slavery and much of Europe had serfdom until the Industrial Revolution. It's sad, but the fact is that blue-collar workers before FDR came along were treated far worse than they are today. Which is not to say they are treated well today. It just helps one understand where the 40 hours came from. I feel like there are a lot of part-time jobs out there. The problem is you can't really afford much with a part-time job. It used to be that the husband could work 40 hours and afford everything his family could need in life. But then families said, hey, if the wife works too, we can double our income and afford more in life, and live a bigger life with more things and a big house. But then businesses just said, hey, there is more money out there to be made, so let's start charging more and increase our profit. Then they made so much they said, I want more. So they started paying the least amount possible. So the profit goes up more and more. Now if they don't have increased profit every quarter, that means they suck at life and should go bankrupt. So yeah, we made $7 billion. But last year we made 6.9, so we were supposed to make 8 this year, and that's why you can't get a raise to meet your daily living requirements. And that, my friends, is why life sucks. End rant lol. It's all made up to keep us trapped. You have to get up earlier than you maybe naturally would. Go somewhere you wouldn't really naturally want to be. Complete tasks that by and large aren't anything you'd naturally do and which bring you no real direct benefit. Usually they bring you direct harm. Interact with people you wouldn't naturally interact with. Spend your money at places you otherwise wouldn't spend it. Pay for things like special clothing, a vehicle, insurance, repairs, parking, gas, transit passes, etc. Spend time unpaid getting to and from the job. And then when you get home, you're too tired from all the ridiculous things you've had to spend energy on all day, all week, all month, all year, the last decade, that you can barely attend to your own needs or self-care, or even think about them at all. It's all by design. And it's why so many people are trying to gaslight everyone into thinking work from home is ruining the soul of the country or something. The 40-plus hour work week wherein you have to go to some soul-crushing place all day keeps us too tired and too busy to think about what's happening, let alone do anything about it. We have an electricity bill to pay. We have medical debt to worry about. We have to figure out how to pay for childcare. And we don't have much time to do it. Well, some of the population being overworked and some of it being involuntary unemployed certainly seems to me as an irrational mode of organizing a society. I work over 55 hours a week, 6 days a week. I'm so tired. I do not mind a 40-hour work week for myself. But that's just it. For myself. I have no children left at home, and can pretty much own property together with my partner, mostly on my income. And without going into too much detail, I have several benefits, including but not limited to paid sick leave and vacation. But for anyone that still has children at home, don't have the benefits and can't own property on mostly their income, it is messed up. These people need to work 40-plus hours. And I hate the fact that a lot of the world I know of has this living hell as a standard, whether they want to or not. And let's not get started on the bull of no breaks. I'm encouraged to stand up and move about for preferably 510 minutes every work hour for my health. Whether that is to get a glass of water or just get the circulation going to work better. And an hour for lunch. And then I know there are people in Idaho, for example, that work 4,070-plus hours a week whom are lucky if they get a 30-minute lunch break and get to sit. That is some grade A bull. I am not in a management or leader position, and I have no personal way I know of to influence the outcome for other workers. Even in my own country, you have no use of my presumed wishing you good luck. But I genuinely hope that this broken system and view on toxic work environments, not limited to people's behavior or culture, a system can be toxic too, can improve or even disappear in the future. But I have seen that more and more companies, although nowhere near enough, have started experimenting with 32-hour workweeks, with 40 hours of pay. I will allow myself to be mildly hopeful and wish for this standard to spread for all you people struggling out there. Out of my 8 hours workday, I do 20 minutes of work. I'm simply a warm body to watch The Office. If guests could check themselves in and all accepted email receipts, I could 100% do my night audit job from home. LMAO. Agreed. I'm probably only needed about 25 to 30 hours a week at my job, but have to work a mandatory 40. So I just sit around doing nothing a lot of the time. I'd rather be free to leave if the work is done. I work 3 12-hour days a week. I'm cool with it. Surely not every job has the same dynamics of productivity. I think it's better thought of like, We have a functionally limitless workload for you. But you're only expected to chip away at 40 hours worth of it per week because that's a reasonable amount of work time. But why that's still considered reasonable is the issue.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.